What it do, family? It's your girl Tootie Toot, and I am back with another video. Shout out to the squad, S&T Drip Set. What it do? I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. Listen, my name is Tamika, aka Toot. Welcome to my reaction channel. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with Toot. However, I also appreciate you guys for attending Sister Sunday. Now, what is Sister Sunday? Sister Sunday is a platform that was created by us, is ran by us, and is dedicated to us. And who is us? That would be the black woman. Now, this don't have any type of racial barriers or anything. This is for all women. But I like to focus on black women, women of color, because those are the women that look like me. And sometimes we are the most complicated. I'm going to say complicated, right? Because I'm trying to say it politically correct. But sometimes we're the most complicated species in the whole world. Hold on one second. Go ahead. Okay, bet. So yeah, so make sure that you guys, sorry about that. You guys do that. You know what, Trina? I tried to play this from the slide the other day. Hold on, I'm doing it from the slide right now. Let me see. Here we go. So yes, so accountability is what we're going to be talking about today. And I want everybody just to pay attention to it. What we're going to do right now is we will read along with it. Now, you might not see my face, but I want to know right now, before we get started, if you guys can definitely hear me. Hold on one second, you guys. Now, I just want to know, are you guys able to see it large on the screen? You can see it? Okay, awesome. I just want to make sure you can do that before we go on. All right, so listen, we're going to get into this, into the accountability, and we're finna go ahead and through. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of the slides first, and then as I go along, I will go ahead and break everything down as we go, okay? And here we go. So listen, what is a personal accountability? And we're finna get into that right now. Hold on one second, you guys, because I want to be able to make sure that it's leading right over here too as well. Give me one sec. I just want it to be bigger for you guys. I've been told on a number of different occasions, not a number of different, but I will say on a couple of different occasions, I was told that I did not take accountability. A friendship for one of them told me that, and then also in a relationship prior to my marriage. Now, a lot of people sometimes hear the word accountability and they automatically just get aggravated because they think that somebody is trying to be very cruel to them. And that is not the case. That is not the case. Sometimes we just don't do things the way that we're supposed to. And that's just it. That's all. All right, here we go. Give me one second. All right, so listen. We're going to go from this way because I don't want to keep stopping. So basically, accountability. All right? Yeah, hold on, let me just start it big right there. Is that big enough for y'all right there? I'm just trying to get it bigger. I can't stand when I can't read, y'all. Can you see it? Are y'all able to see it okay? All right, cool. What is personal accountability? When you're personally accountable, you take ownership of what happens as a result of your choices and actions. You don't blame others or make excuses. And you do what you can to make amends when things go wrong. To become more accountable, make sure that you're clear about your roles and responsibilities. Now, last week, we talked about sisterhood, right? And we talked about our introduction to sisterhood. You know what I mean? And in that introduction, we talked about some of the questions that we ask people that we might want to be friends with. What we don't want to do sometimes is we don't want to ask a person what friendship means to them. So if we don't have a complete understanding, complete lines of communication of what friendship details, there's no way in the world that either party could be accountable because nobody have a clear direction on what we're in here for. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? So to be able to take personal accountability, there first have to be a clear line of where we going in our friendship. So therefore, if we never talked about it, I cannot come to somebody else and tell that person that they're not being accountable. Because first of all, the person don't know what I'm talking about. Because we do not have communication whatsoever on what our friendship is supposed to detail. So being able first to establish what we're doing, whether it's in a relationship or in a friendship, if you do not have a clear-cut understanding on what we're doing, then it's going to be impossible for you to be able to hold anybody accountable and for them to hold you accountable. You have to have that. You got to have that line of communication. So everybody follow me with that, correct? Let's keep on moving. We hear it all the time that we want people in our lives who take accountability for their actions. I just said that. You know what I'm saying? Friendships mainly. Girl, you don't never do the things that I do. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that I do this for you. I make sure that I do that for you. So before you can even point out those gripes, have you had a conversation with your sister? Have you had a conversation with your sister? Do you and your sister both know what y'all are in here for? Because I guarantee you, if you ask your sister what sisterhood mean to her, and if she even clearly want a friendship, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get direct honesty from her. She's going to tell you one or two things. Her personality is going to do one or two things, not fit yours, or you're going to understand right there at that lunch, like, okay, yeah, I like her, but it ain't nowhere in the world that I can bring her in my circle. You understand what I'm saying? So it says, do you take personal accountability or when? It is good to have people in our lives that do, but we need to learn to take personal accountability for ourselves. Personal accountability isn't a trait that people are born with. It damn sure ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of living that you learn. Every day we wake up in the morning and we want to be better versions of ourselves. For us to be able to do that, sometimes we got to look in the mirror and we got to reflect on that. We got to know. We got to say, look, man, I ain't been doing that right. These are things that I have to work on. For you to be able to completely be able to grow, you have to be very open-minded about yourself. And yourself first have to take direct accountability. If we don't recognize those flaws in ourselves, there is no way that we can be anything to anybody else. Y'all follow me? There's no way that we can do that. Personal accountability builds trust within others because people know that they can depend on you. You hear that? If me and my friend, right, we know exactly what our friendship details. And we done talked about the things that we want to do in our friendship and the things that we don't want to do in a friendship. So we have a clear understanding. You understand? My friend can rely on me no matter what. We don't even have to talk on weeks upon a time because we have a clear-cut understanding of what our friendship details. Meaning that even when we get busy, if she go to see me call her and she know I won't call her, then she's going to know right then and there to be there because we've already had that line of communication and we're both accountable for our friendship. So therefore, it's a two-way street. We can't have that seesaw type shit. She doing more than me, and then I'm supposed to be able to look at her and say, look, you're not being a friend of me. How? There's no way that we can do that. So we got to make sure that we be able to take accountability for ourselves first before we can ask it from somebody else. So I just want to make sure everybody understand that. It provides you with healthier relationships with friends, family, partners, and coworkers. Because accountability, is so important. Because without it, there's no way that you're going to have a respect value. It's no way that anything in your relationships is going to work. Whether they're friendships, personal relationships, relationships at work, you got to be able to have it. It's just that simple. All right? You have to know it's hard to be personally accountable if you're not clear what you're responsible for. Now, that's what I was just saying earlier. If you're in a friendship, right, and you guys do not know what y'all friendship details, it's going to be personally hard to hold anybody accountable in that friendship. If you are unclear what you're taking accountability for, you have to be able to communicate. It brings me back to that first conversation. There is no way that you should be able to label somebody your friend without having a conversation on what friendship details to you and having to talk about accountability because those situations go hand in hand. They like peanut butter and jelly. It is no way that you can have a friendship, discuss what the friendship is going to detail to both of you guys and not discuss accountability. It's just no way that it can happen, okay? You have to also be honest with yourself. Notice, Not be honest with your friend, be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself and the things that you're willing to change and recognizing those changes, then by God, don't be a friend. Because you have to first start with you before you can do anything else, whether it's in a relationship or a friendship. If you ain't right inside, it is nowhere in the world that you can give anything to anybody else. You guys get what I'm saying? So let's keep going. She said, success in life only comes when you're completely honest with yourself and with others. This means setting aside your pride and admitting when you made a mistake or slacking. That has been my problem. That has been my problem. My problem has always been a pride problem. I think when you're accustomed to doing so many things by yourself and not really having to ever rely on someone, it makes that very, very hard because your pride and your ego gets very big. Your pride gets big. You got hurt so much, it's huge now. So it's sometimes very, very hard to set your pride aside. And what I mean, and I don't mean just sometimes in the sake of an argument, we can be people who really need help. I know there's people right now. Hold on, I got you. I know there's people right now, right? That's good. Can you guys see everything good? Okay. I know there's people right now, right? That has been in a situation where they have done everything for themselves. Everything for themselves. So when it comes down to depending on people, you like, what the is that? You guys see me go through it a lot sometimes. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And the reason being is because sometimes when your ego is big, it's hard to ask for help when you need it. And that could be a very, very hard thing for not only you, but for the people that's around you. Now, it could be very hard for you because some things that I had to realize later is the fact that sometimes God sends blessings through people, right? So if somebody come to you who you know is close to you and they say, Toot, I got you. I can help you. Sometimes we got to be able to put that pride aside and be able to take that help because we pray about it at night. We say, God, man, I need help. I need help. And the next morning, it don't come the way that we prayed for it. But it might come in a blessing of a friend or somebody who we might confide in. So we have to be very, very careful with our pride and not being okay with being able to say, you know what, I was wrong. Sometimes just being able to say I was wrong can go a long effing way. But see, that's the thing. Sometimes we get defensive. We know that we are wrong. But just because somebody else is coming to us with our big egos, we be very, very afraid to admit that. And then what that does, it starts to put a damper on the friendship because accountability is everything. So when we have these situations in friendship, which we're going to have, no friendship is going to be perfect. The same way we argue with our relationship people and our significant others and things like that, we're going to argue with our friends. It's just the way it is. We're not going to always do things correctly. So in doing that, when we have those arguments, we got to be willing to be able to take accountability with each other. We've already sat down and said, look, this is what friendship look like for us. We've already realized that this is the friendship that we want. We already had a clear line of communication. We all said that we will take accountability. So when we already discussed these things and those situations arrive, right? We cannot lose sight of that for our own personal reasons, all right? Our own personal pride, not want to be able to admit the truth. It's okay. Life will go on. The same way she gonna be wrong one day, you gonna be wrong one day. But as long as you guys share the same goal of being accountable to one another, then it's not gonna be a problem whatsoever. I promise you it will not, okay? Reflect with asking yourself with questions like, what could I have done differently today? How can I build this change into my life from now on? Growth individually is a lifestyle. It's not like a diet. You know, sometimes people say, I want to lose weight. All right, so what you want to do? You want to lose weight temporarily, or do you want it to make it a lifestyle? And in making it a lifestyle, you're going to have to incorporate lifelong changes. The same thing with this. For us to be better people, it's going to be a job that never ends. We're going to be learning to the day that from right now to the day that we check out. And you got to be okay with that. Every day we're going to be evolving. So that's what your friends and your significant other got to be okay with. For your relationships to be able to really sustain, you have to be able to understand that, look, even though we are together, whether it be friends or relationship, we're going to be people, individual people that's going to evolve every single day, which means you have to be okay with certain changes. Who I was in 97, I might not be in 2007. And I damn sure ain't trying to be in 2027. So you got to be okay with that person changing and evolving daily. If you're not going to be okay with that, then guess what? The friendship or the relationship will probably not work. What's going to happen is you're going to have two individuals that clearly love each other, but they're going to start going the different ways. And it's only because those clear lines of communication was not open. And we have to be okay with each other. Look, sis, shit, I'm a work in progress. You know what I mean? And you have to be all right with that. And your friend is going to have to be okay with you trying to become the better you. All right? So being able to be accountable is so, so important. Let's keep going. I'm going to bring me here, y'all. Hold on. Where are you with personal accountability? And I want to know right now. Now, next week, when we continue this accountability talk, because this will be like a 3-parter again. Now, I do have everybody's vision boards that you guys sent me at the beginning of the year. And that's what we're going to be looking at. Because those are going to be some of the things that we're going to be seeing if we're holding each other and ourselves accountable for. Now, I got all of y'all vision boards, the ones that participated in it. Now, if you have not made a vision board, I really suggest that you make it. It's not too late. You can make a vision board for a monthly thing, a yearly thing, a weekly thing. Make you a vision board. But at the beginning of the year, we worked on our vision boards. We all did them together. We all looked at them together. And we all said, look, we're going to have some long-term and short-term goals that we're going to ascertain. So listen, if you have not made one, okay, what I suggest for you to do is make one by next Sunday. Make one by next Sunday, because I want us to go through our vision boards, because right now we're damn near half of the year is gone. And I want to see exactly what you guys have accomplished on your vision boards, because we said that we was going to be holding each other accountable. You remember? We said that we were going to be doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just that. We're going to look at our boards and we're going to revisit them. And we're going to see if we made any type of changes from when we first created them. Now, I can honestly say that I know there's 3 things at least that I accomplished on that board. But there's also some things that I know I have not done consistently. And that's where the accountability comes into place. Do it come into place with y'all because y'all seen my board? Hell no, I don't. It come into place with me. Because the personal changes that I have to make individually has to start with me. Even my friend can't tell me, you need to do your board. If I am not 100% ready to be able to take accountability for myself and ownership for myself, to be able to reach some of my goals, then guess what? It starts with me. So that is so serious. It starts with me. All right? Let's start with our vision boards. It's the 7th month of the year. And have you been working on the things on your vision board? Now, for the people who have done it, have you guys been working on the things on your vision board? And don't just say it just because we all on this chat and you want to look good. I want to know for real, wholeheartedly, have you guys completed any things on your vision board? Ari said that she has. Ellen said that she has. Riri said you have. Right now, I want you guys to tell me a couple of the things that you guys have completed on your vision board. Now, we're going to get into it more in detail next week, but I want to know right now. ICD says she has. So one of the things that you have done, I want to know, what have you accomplished so far on your board? Miss Classy says she has, but she can do more. Me completely. Safa J, yes and no. Okay? You got my car and have been having more you time. All right, that's a great accomplishment. My health is getting better. Ellen, we know everything that you've been going through, and we seen your struggles with that, so that's another good thing. Who else? ICD, I want to know. What is one of the things on your board that you have accomplished? Riri says she's put herself first, invested, and traveled. I can honestly say that I have put myself first. That was one of the things that I accomplished. I am a very apologetic for anything right now that's going on in my life. I really have zero patience for a lot of shit. I don't. But that's something that I needed to be able to do. ICD, not really completed, but building my relationship with God and improve your diet. Well, you know what? You don't have to complete it. That's a start. Better eating habits and working out more. As long as you baby stepping in that, you've already started putting forward some of the effort on your vision board. So that's a great thing. Because guess what? Last year, you wasn't doing this. So even if you're doing some of the things on your board, you're already doing a lot different than last year. Miss Classy, relationship with God is stronger. Health. I've been preparing for my PPR certification testing in 2 weeks. And I know that's been driving you crazy, but you're gonna kill it. But those things are great. Cornelia, I don't have a board yet, but accomplished so much this year. I started my acting career. I started more businesses, etc. That's a beautiful thing, Cornelia. Sally, I completed a few things. Name one thing you have completed, Sally. Name one thing you have completed. Good afternoon, Harlem baby. So, how many items have you completed? Are you holding yourself accountable for the things you are not doing? Now, there are things that we put on our board. Have we been holding ourselves accountable for the things that we have not been doing? I have not to everything. I can honestly say that. Learning to love yourself more. That's great. I started the gym. Amir, that's an accomplishment. Walking more in my gifting. Yeah, that's great. Sometimes, man, we don't gift the way that we can, and I can say that I probably could do a lot better. Even though the way that I want to gift is where my problem is. I gift great, but I want to be able to do it bigger. Need to do a vision board. Colleen, definitely do one for you, baby girl. I think this would be very great for you. If you have if you need some understanding on how to complete one, if you want to see some examples of one, I can definitely be able to show you that. Okay. You don't have a vision board. However, I took a step to change my eating habits as well as continue my writing. Now, listen, if you don't have a complete vision board, because we made big ass posters with beautiful pictures and all that. If you do not have a vision board, okay, write some things down. You have journals. Put it in your journal. Put 5 things. Start with 5. 5 things that you want to have accomplished by the end of the year. Okay? And then do something that you want to be able to accomplish by the end of next year. Do some short-term and long-term goals. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and it keeps you on track. Something to remember. Responsibilities equals accountability equals ownership. And a sense of ownership is the most powerful weapon a person, family, or sisterhood can have. We're going to say that one more time. Something to remember. Responsibilities equals accountability equals ownership. Okay? And a sense of ownership is the most powerful weapon a person, family, or a sisterhood can have. Just knowing that we belong to something that's bigger than ourselves is a powerful thing. Sometimes we have to make decisions not only for ourselves, but for the betterment of everyone. So being able to be able to own everything that you're doing in your life is probably going to be the most lucrative thing that you will ever see or ever be able to accomplish. Now, what we're going to talk about now is when accountability is good. All right? I'm going to give you guys some situations, and I want you to tell me who should take accountability in this particular situation. All right? You have a couple. And in this relationship, this couple have been dating for maybe 2 or 3 years. It's fairly new. That honeymoon stage is beginning to wear a little thin. Okay? Now, you have one person in the relationship that is working a lot. Because the common goal when those 2 people were to sit down was, we want to be able to get us a house. We want to work on our credit. So by the end of the year, we can be able to move. All right? So we have one person in the relationship that is busting their ass. Sticking to the plan. And then we have one person in the relationship that is not working as diligently as the other person, but they're still doing what they're supposed to do. Now, the person who has not been working as much comes to the person who has been working a lot and says, You haven't been spending any quality time with me. We're missing that. What do the person who's been working a lot say in that particular situation? I want to know. I want to know right now, what are you saying in that particular situation to your significant other? What are you saying? How are you going to respond to that? If you was a person in a relationship, you guys have talked about the things that you want. How are you responding to your significant other? Drop it down. What are you saying? What is the first thing that you're saying? Icy, love it. Amir, love it. Exactly. I hear that, Ellen. Make a suggestion. I've been working towards the goals that we both set, but I would definitely set time to be with you more. Exactly. I understand your feelings, baby, and I will work on it. I'm sorry. How can we fix it? Apologize and ask how things. The reason why I ask y'all that, right? Because sometimes as humans, right, we look above the surface. Krenaya, you think they should automatically go right to therapy? Do you think that therapy at this point is the right answer? Now, I'm not saying that anytime you do therapy is great, but I'm asking, do you think this is right now as a means for it? You're going to apologize for not being able to be whole in the relationship. You're going to remind them that while you love them, that you're working towards a common goal or their common goal. The reason why I ask you this is because I'm going to tell you sometimes what we do as individuals. That person, the first thing that person would have did was jumped at the next person and said, well, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? We said that we was going to work. And the way that we would have communicated to them would have made that person who came to you in complete defense mode. Now, I told y'all a number of times, one of the things that I cannot stand is this. Do not wait until I'm addressing a certain situation to you to point out your gripes towards me in a derogatory manner. Meaning, if I'm coming to you and I'm saying, baby, I need us to be able to spend more time with each other. Don't wait until I say that to bring up me not working as hard or as diligently as you think that I should. Because the moment that you feel like that is the moment that you should address that with me. If you wait until the moment to where I'm trying to be able to get my gripes across, it's going to make it seem like you're slapping what I'm feeling right the fuck down. It's not going to have no merit. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's sometimes what I do. I have done that. And even though I'm completely right, because we sat down and we talked about getting this money done so we can be able to get this house and everything. Even though I'm right in that, I am also wrong with the way that I delivered it. So that's why communication and being able to hold each other accountable is very, very great. Now, a lot of you guys said it perfect. A lot of you guys said it perfect. You talk to them. Listen, babe, I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel, and I apologize that I've been working so hard, but I'm really focused on the common goal of what we had or what we're about to do. We're trying to get this house, but listen, you're right, because at the end of the day, our relationship has to sustain. So tell me, what do you think I can do? What are some things that I can do to make this better? That's the way how we have to do it. We have to take accountability in that moment, because in that moment right now, our partner is the one that has a problem. And even though we might have complete merit on how we feel, the way we address that to that person is so key. It's going to determine if we have a great rest of the day or not. It really will. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to look at those things. Don't wait till your partners or your friends come to you about something that's bothering them, and that is the time that you want to go ahead and throw what you're feeling out. Don't do that. It's going to mess everything up. I hate that. I can't stand it. It pisses me off. Okay? We have to have a better and clear understanding, because part of it is what she said on this slide earlier. Sometimes we do not want to take complete ownership to when we make mistakes, meaning that we can be wrong as hell. But sometimes we don't want to be wrong because our egos don't let us. So instead of just taking accountability in that moment, we go on a defense trip. Now what we want to do is we want to throw something back at them to hurt them worse. Because instead of looking at it and saying, damn, I have been working hard. And you know you've been working hard. So instead of looking at it like that, the first thing we want to do is throw something back. Instead of saying, baby, you're right. I have been working hard. But you still important to me. So we got to fix this. Now, what is a way that I can work less and we can still be able to spend time? That's where we got to go from there. Now, in doing so, there are things that you can introduce to your partner at that time, but you have to be able to read everything that's going on in the room, okay? Don't go on a defensive trip to say, baby, I haven't been working. I have. But look, a way that we could probably spend a little bit more time together, the reason why I have been working a lot is because I was picking up shifts because I've been realizing, like, you know what I mean? You've been kind of taking it easy and stuff. You know what I mean? Now, can you commit that you might pick up some extra shifts? That way that I don't have to do all these shifts and then we can meet here? Could we do it like that? You see what I'm saying? We have to be able to do that. Now, if your partner is practicing accountability like you, they're going to hear what you're saying and they're not going to look at that as a counter. They're going to say, well, you know what, babe, you're right. As much as I'm coming to you saying you working too hard, you're right. I could probably do a little bit more. And then I got you. I got you on that. Now the day is better. And then you can revisit some things. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I know that I was picking up extra shifts on Thursday and Friday. Instead of doing Thursday and Friday, I won't do Friday anymore. Friday will be me and your day. We ain't doing nothing. We're not thinking about the house. We're not thinking about these goals. That's going to be me and your day. We ain't thinking about nothing else. How's that? It's great, babe. Cool. See, you have to be able to do that. But to be able to do that, though, you have to have a clear direction on where you're going in your friendship or in your relationship. Meaning that start asking those hard questions in the beginning. You can like as many people as you want in life. But when you're talking about introducing people to your life, your children, your family, I think that we probably need to do a little bit more digging with the people that we're sitting across from. And it's okay with that. When you get to a certain age in life, you want a certain peace that comes along with it. You don't want extra drama. You don't want that shit. So it is no shame and blame with you when you meet somebody to interrogate their ass. Hell, I need to know who you are. Because what do we see? What do we see on this here internet? All the time. We see people having relationships and friendships, and a month down the line, they ain't friends no more. And it's only because they didn't do the groundwork beforehand. When you meet a new man, well, I can't say everybody, but when you meet a new man, before you jump into bed with that dude, in most cases, you want to get to know that person to figure out if his energy is going to intertwine with ours. But instead of asking those questions to that man, like, what do you want in a relationship? Do you even want a relationship? When is the last time you had a relationship? You have to be okay with asking those things. Look, if the nigga don't want to pay for your lobster after you ask him questions, then he wasn't supposed to be in your life. But those are the questions that you got to ask. You have to do that first, and we never do that. And then we wonder, like, right down the line why things went bad. Well, we didn't have those questions. We have to do that. Sis, what sisterhood look like to you? What friendship look like to you? What don't you want in friendships? What is complicated to you in friendships? You got to ask those questions. You are talking about letting these people come over to your house, spend a night, eat your food, be around your kids, be around your man. The fuck? You got every right to know who that person is. And in knowing that person is asking some hard-ass questions. And if that person thinks sisterhood or friendship look the same to her like it do you, then you're not going to have any problems with those questions being asked. And that's just the truth. It's just the truth. We are not going to know everybody who we come across. Not even our own family. Shit, there's people that I know in my family right now and I don't know them. I don't know them. We have to be able to do that. And accountability is one of the major things that is going to be able to contribute to the success of your relationship or your friendship. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? So I got another question, right? A lot of times, accountability, right, falls short when we have relationships with our parents. That's the hard one, especially for us black women. Sometimes we grow up in households that is a little unorthodox, or to some people is not as, it might be a little abnormal. And communication, if you grew up in a household like mine, I was raised by my grandmother. So therefore, the way that my grandmother thought and the way that my mother thought was going to be two completely different things. So the expectations that my grandmother had and my mother had was going to be two different things, okay? However, when the title sometimes is mama, daddy, brother, sister, them immediate people, children, those that immediate family, that's when sometimes accountability get very difficult. And I'm going to say why. Because sometimes when people are your mama and they have the title mama, right? We give them passes as children. They are mama. I ain't going to say, I don't want to complicate things. You know what I'm saying? I got to honor my mama. Listen, you can honor your mother. But when you get to a big age, respect goes both ways. It does. And sometimes accountability is the hardest when it's our parents, when it's our families, when it's our sisters. We don't want to cross down that road because we didn't argue with their asses before. And sometimes me seeing this or me saying this is going to start an argument because we know how defensive that person may be. However, it is still needed because that's the breakdown with a lot of us, especially black women and their mothers, black women and their fathers, black women with their sisters. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. It is. Because we feel like because they have those titles, they get passes. No, they don't. They don't. Because if we're going to want accountability, right? We want it consistently. We can't grow in peace, right? We cannot do that without being able to have it across the board. We can't say we want peace in our life. Tell our man, this is what I want. Be direct in that. I don't want this. I don't want that. You got to do this. We are very, very direct when it comes to certain people. But then there's certain people that we get passes to. Now our man is in the kitchen looking at us, looking at them, not being accountable for some shit that he's supposed to. But then he is supposed to be able to understand what the fuck y'all got going on. Nah, it don't work like that. Accountability goes all the way down the board. And if you want to grow in peace, you're going to have to accept it from everybody that's in your life. It's that simple. You cannot expect it one way and then let it fall short this way. Somewhere down the line, you're going to get your ass drugged still. Still going to be hurt because it's needed all the way down the line. One of my sisters never takes accountability. Stubborn as a mule, there is no communication with her. Mika, and guess what? There's going to be some cases that's going to be the truth. We can't change every fucking body. We can't. Now, I've learned my sisters enough to know how to be able to communicate with them. I do. I know if I say it a certain way, it might come across a certain way. Now, you cannot expect for people to take accountability and you come at their ass raggedy. It don't work like that. Just because you might be right in the situation, you still have to have etiquette on the way that you address someone. So just because you're right, don't come in that mug and be waving your head and thinking that that's going to fly. Because what you did right then and there is you automatically made that person not want to take accountability for nothing. You've already done pissed them off. There are going to be ways that you got to learn how to communicate with your sisters, with your family, to be able to achieve true accountability. You understand where I'm coming from? There needs to be respect and boundaries when we're adults. And I don't know where in the Bible did it say that we cannot have these difficult conversations with our parents. See, people got to understand there's a difference between honoring our parents, right? And then taking grave disrespect. We don't have to do that. I don't know where you heard that shit from. You don't have to do that, okay? Just because somebody is your mama doesn't give your mama any right to disrespect you at your grown age. I don't care who it is. No. Don't accept it. Don't. And if in Mika's situation, right? If you have a sister that you know there is no communication with, then guess what? You got to be okay with that relationship. So what I mean by that is don't be looking for things in that sister that you know you haven't communicated about, that you guys haven't made an understanding about, and that you guys have both not decided that you're going to take pure accountability from. Because guess what? Mika, you're going to be left down every time. Every time your sister's going to piss you off. Because it is a two-way street. For it to work, everybody has to have understanding on what the goal is. Has to. You cannot address everyone with everyone the same either. It does. That's exactly right, Gigi. Me and my sister Tiffany have a great relationship when it comes down to certain things, right? Me and my sister Lisa have a great relationship when it comes down to certain things. But in a situation where things get heightened, I have to go to them completely differently. Because Tiffany ass, you got to come at her a little different. Because she's stubborn as hell. She's a Capricorn. It's just the way that it is. Lisa, she's going to be a lot sweeter. She's going to be like, oh, you know what, sis, you right. Because there's certain things that we've discussed and there's certain things that we've discussed. And you got to also understand, Lisa grew up on my father's side where we practiced love. We hugged. We kissed. Our family was completely different on this side. On my mama's side, we didn't really show a lot of affection and emotion and things like that. So you see me right now, I'm split. I grew up in two different households. Over here we love, over here we don't. So it's going to have to be things that I'm going to have to be understanding about when it comes down to my sister. I can't just come to my sister and say, man, you need to love me more. I have done that. It ain't going to work. Because for me to be able to say that to her, she got to have a clear understanding of what loving is. Because the way we grew up, we might view love differently. Where on my dad's side, I can go to Lisa and be like, man, you don't love me. Because she's going to understand exactly what I mean when I say that. It's different. It's a different virtue. Sometimes I used to have to turn into a different nigga when I got home. I leave my daddy's house, I'm hugging and kissing my family, love you too. Then I'm getting over here and then it's completely different. And I feel foreign in this motherfucker. But see, what you got to do is you got to understand that you cannot address everybody the same sometimes. And you got to be able to do that. Same, your mama's side is less affectionate. And guess what side it is? It's always mostly on your mama's side. The maternal side. The side that we need as black women. Ain't that weird? I want to know in these comments. Whose side is less affectionate if your parents is not together anymore? Your mom's side or your dad's side? I want to know. Drop it down in the comments. It's killing me. Both of you, Amira? Your dad, your mom, both. Dad, mom, unfortunately. Mom, unfortunately. All right, another question I want to ask. Let's do it this way. Who do you feel closer emotionally to? Your mom or your dad? Both of my parents is gone, so I'm going to tell you. I felt more emotionally attached to my father. I did. And it's for those reasons that I just told you. When I go to my daddy's house, he babying me. You know, he nurturing me. Daddy, come here, girl. Give me a kiss. My mama, oh shit no. Mom, give me a hug. Come on, girl, don't be doing all that. That's what she say. You hear me? Now, she'll hug the hell out of me if she's a little high. You feel me? But for the most part, if we're just on a regular thing, that's how it looks for me. Mom, give me a hug, give me a kiss. No, girl, go on now. You know, I don't like to be doing all that. Too hot. Now, do that to somebody all their lives. And then I want you to see how they're going to be affectionately. It's going to be different. Well, I never had a father. I had affection elsewhere. I understand that, sweetheart. It works like that sometimes. I get it. Both my parents are gone, but I would say your mother, okay? My dad is deceased, but it was always my mom. Got you, okay? Neither growing up, but now my dad, all right? But sometimes it depends when you have an active father in your life. It definitely does. It definitely does. And that's why I was saying if you grew up with a parent or if your parent is not there. Because if you don't have an active father in your life or an active mother in your life, it's going to look completely different for you. Because the way that you learn life is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my mom growing up. My grandmother raised me. But just like I told you, on that side of the family, it was not really emotional. And you got to also understand my grandmother had already raised her kids. So when she got around to me and my sister, she was a little damn tired. So some of the energy she probably put into her kids, she didn't put it to me and my sister. Which means that we grew up a little different. However, we were just talking last night. Me and my sister. And my sister sent me a text this morning, and she said, "Damn, no matter how we grew up, I'm thankful for how our lives have turned out, because somewhere somebody else might not be looking as good at us as us." You know what I'm saying? Like it all is like that. Okay, so therefore, I'm bringing that up is because sometimes learned behavior is everything to us, you guys. It's everything to us. So we have to be able to understand certain things about ourselves. That's why taking ownership and accountability for our shortcomings is going to determine our friendships and our relationships. We have to be able to do that. The same way we want answers when we sit down at that lobster dinner, we have to be able to be okay with the things that we say. Well, look, sis, I know you said you want a friendship, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really that good in friendships. I really don't even know how to be a friend. You might have to show me some things along the way, because I'm going to be honest, like, friendship to me don't really look too good. But do you see how me being accountable with my own self makes the other party be able to have a decision to make? Well, she did admit that she was a little broken. She told me she don't know what friendship looked like. She even said she ain't never even had a real friend. Now it's up to me as a human being. You have to hold yourself accountable, because you have to say, all right, this girl says she don't know what friendship look like. Am I willing to put in the extra work for my friend? You got to ask yourself that. I'm going to tell you why you got to do that. Because if you agree that you're going to be this girl's friend when she just told you all of her shortcomings, and you agreed to give her a chance in friendship, but then you try to hold her accountable a week later to something that she has not done right, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because in doing so, you know that in the beginning stages, you might have to be a friend to her and you to start out. Because she let you know, I'm not going to be the best friend right now. You're going to have to teach me. So in you being able to say, all right, I'm going to accept that, you're going to have to also understand the things that comes along with that. You're going to have to give her grace in certain situations, because she don't know what you know. And you have to, that's when you're going to have to be accountable. So I have to ask you this too. I have to tell you this too. When you're sitting down, you can be very direct with the things you want in your friendship, but you also got to also express the things you might be short in. Because what you might be short in, she might be strong in, and vice versa. But you have to be able to put that out there so she is aware of what you might fall short in. So when it does happen, she can take accountability and understanding that. Well, sis, you did tell me that. You did tell me that you was going to be like this. But listen, I have no problem showing you. But when I show you these things, don't get all defensive all the time, because that's the only way it's going to work. You see what I'm saying? We have to communicate. Without doing it, it's going to be messed up for us both. And the reason why I'm saying accountability is a big part, because we sit on this chat a lot of the times and we discuss the things that hurts us. We talk about all the things that just hurt us bad and those type of things. You know what I'm saying? It pisses us off. And we say, oh yeah, this friend, she wasn't real to us. This friend didn't do this to us. This friend didn't do that to us. But we also didn't establish anything either. We cannot sit here and be mad at being hurt over some things that we did not do our due diligence in. Let me ask you something. When there's a pair of shoes that you want, before you get them, you go and you look at them, you go research them. Yeah, girl. We look at the rating of it. We do. We look at the rating of it and shit. Well, shit, we got about 5 reviews. All the reviews said they look good. So I got to get them now. We even call the stores of all time. Do you have these shoes? Before I come all the way down there? We do all of these things for materialistic shit. We will. Boy, we want to go on a trip. We researching it. Oh yeah, girl, if we go on Thursday to Saturday, we'll be able to save $400. And then when I'm looking at these reviews, it's telling us not to go to this resort, but we got to go to that. You see how we research and we learn the things that we really want in our lives? So you mean to tell me that you don't want real friendship, you don't want a real relationship in your life? So if you do, why you ain't researching them folks? Why you ain't asking questions to them folks? These are the people that's going to be in our lives. These are the people that we're going to go get them shoes with and go on vacation with. Now, you mean to tell me that we did more research on the shoes than the nigga that we took with us? The fuck? It's not making no sense. We'll meet somebody, right? We'll meet somebody. Prime example. We meet somebody. Friend. We went out one time, but when we went out, we was all under influence. So, of course, it was fun that night. We was all drunk. You love everybody when you drunk sometimes. You feel me? Come here, girl. Give me a hug. Girl, I love you. My bestie over here. Girl. We doing all that. We doing all that. This the first day we ever met her. So now we saying, this is my friend. No, we ain't. You can't say that. You can say, girl, you cool as hell, but don't you label that girl that yet. You don't know her. So then we'll go and we'll have a dinner with her the next day. Girl, I had a good time last night. Boy, we gonna have to hang more. This is what we saying. Girl, we gonna have to hang more. We gonna have to do that again. You see how we automatically ain't want to ask no question that we need to ask? Because right now we had a good time with her, but we don't know nothing about this shawty. We don't even know if she want to be my friend. We don't even know if she are friends of people who I ain't even friends with. Because we ain't had that conversation. But we automatically starting the next date. So we doing it Thursday again? Girl, because they got two. No, let's don't even do it. Yeah, let's do. Yeah, Thursday. Let's do that. Let's go down there. We ain't asked no question. We didn't share our Facebook with a girl. Oh yeah, we didn't accept her. Even though our page is private, we didn't let her come straight on in there. Boop. Boop. We friends. And guess what you did? You said that you accepted that friend request, but you ain't scrolled down 3 years. Fuck, I know who you are now, but let me see who you used to be. The same way we research some shoes and we trying to get a rating on that nigga. The best way sometimes to get a rating is in them comments. Go see what they've been saying about your good sis that you're saying is your best friend now. You feel what I mean? Go back a year in that Facebook. Go back all the way to the beginning of that Instagram. Go see who your sis used to be before you met her. Because if you don't research her, don't be mad when she show you who she is. Because you ain't asked her anyway. All you did is go ahead and show up to Thirsty Thursday and you expect that this woman's going to be everything that you was. How? When you ain't talked to her. You get what I'm saying with that? We got to be able to do that. Let me tell you something. There's a friend right now that I've known. And I've been knowing for a long time. To where like the thing that saved me from being that person's friend was going back in time. And seeing that that person really was who they was. I'm looking at other people talk about them. Girl, thank you so much. You were such a good friend to me. I appreciate you always being there. Girl, if it's one thing about you, you gonna be honest. That's one thing that person gonna do. Look at their happy birthday post. Look at them. See who's saying happy birthday. If you're going on there and ain't nobody saying nothing, then 9 times out of 10, something might be a little iffy. If you going in the comment section and you're a year down the line and you seeing a lot of, girl, you so messy, you always be messy. See, that's one thing about her. You talk too much. If you seeing a lot of that, believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Sometimes people tell us exactly who we are right away. And because we want the perception of what love look like, we want love so bad. We want friendship so bad. We ignore all the red flags in our faces. Sometimes we could tell that a person is not formatted for us right away. But as a black woman, sometimes we try to love the shit out of them. There is nothing, but I'm telling you, it is black women's biggest problem sometimes is trying to love people who do not deserve to be loved. And any time we go to hurt from it, we're looked at as bitter and a whole bunch of other names. But, I'm going to tell you this, black woman. We got to start assessing our friendships and our relationships a lot better. We do. Before we invite them over in our house, let's know them a little bit first. It's okay. It's okay. You got to understand, your home is your sanctuary. When a person know where you stay, where they know where you live, you got to understand that's just energy already. You gave this person an up. She know exactly where to drive to come see you. Before you invite her over, know her. These niggas that we sleeping with, why they got the keys to our places? Why? You don't know them yet, sir. Why you letting this nigga in? Why instead of asking this man what he want from you out of a relationship, or asking that friend what she want from you out of a friendship, why we're not asking the questions that's needed to be asked? Why are we automatically just introducing them to our lives? And I've said it, and I'm going to continue to say this. When you meet somebody, Stop introducing them to your trauma on the first date. You can easily tell a person what you don't want in your relationship. You do not have to tell a person right away what you have endured. A person who is willing or who is committed to being your friend should know about your trauma on the first date. Do you know how long you've been dealing with that trauma? Do you know how long you've been working on that trauma? Do you know how that trauma still affects you? Why are you introducing somebody to something that personal right away? They don't earn that. That is not first date material. We've been doing it backwards. We have. We sit down with the new boo that we've been talking over Facebook and been seeming kind of good. He seemed like he dope. And the first thing we do when we on the phone with his ass or when we go out to dinner with his ass is we invite him to everything that we have had in our past. We tell that man everything and every man that has hurt us. Why? He ain't earned that shit yet. What we telling him for? I'm trying to see if I'm going to get past this lobster dinner. I might not even come back to a second date. So why am I telling him this shit? Why am I telling him that this man before him hurt me to the point to where I almost killed myself? Why am I telling him this? Why? He ain't earned it yet. It's only a lobster dinner. If you think paying $79 for your food is equivalent to telling this man everything that has hurt you on the first date, and you don't even know if you have a future with him, sus, evaluate your first dates and the questions you ask. Same thing with friends. We get out because we happy that we got a new friend that we hanging with, because our old friend, we ain't cool no more. And then the first thing we say is, man, the last friend I had, man, she ain't do shit, bro. Hurt me so bad. Why am I telling that person that? I don't even know if I'm gonna see this person again. I'm inviting this person all in my business, changing energies, exchanging energies with a nigga who I might not even exchange with. We have to change it. We have to change the way that we question people. It's okay to be a little selfish. When you're talking about your life and the things you want from it, ask some questions. Do you understand that you cannot even buy a house without certain questions being asked? Meaning that they won't even put you in a brand new fucking house that nobody even lived in until they know certain things about you to see if you are deemed good enough to live in a house. If they're doing that with materialistic shit, why aren't we doing that in our personal lives? Go try to get a car right now. They're going to ask you your name, your number. They're going to ask you 3 references, people that can vouch for you. It's certain things that they're going to have to know before they give you their car. Think about it. So if there's going to be certain guidelines that we got to follow with that, it damn sure need to be certain guidelines that we follow with personal friendships and relationships. It's that simple. We just don't treat it the same. And the thing that's so crazy is that a car is temporary. We can get in that motherfucker crash tomorrow. A house is temporary. That motherfucker burn to the ground tomorrow. But we're willing to do all of these things for those things, right? But then for lifelong people that's supposed to be in our lives for longevity, we don't do those things for. Accountability is everything. The reason why we don't do those things is because as individuals, we don't do it. So when you're in a friendship, if you find yourself in a friendship and you're not understanding why it's not working, first of all, you didn't even take personal accountability. Because it was things that you said on your vision board. You said you wanted to be happy. You said you want to love yourself more. You said you want to do those things, right? So in able to ascertain those things, you have to take personal accountability and say, listen, I'm not going to be friends with somebody who I'm not going to have a full understanding on who that person is anymore. You know what you just did? You just did 2 things on your vision board. First of all, you took personal accountability for yourself and ownership. Second of all, you contributed to having more self-love for yourself. Because you're just not letting anybody come in your life. Nah, it's not happening. Not just anybody can come in my life anymore. It's not going to happen. You feel me? So that's what we got to start looking at. We have to have those conversations. We got to have them. Got to have them. Now, I want to ask you guys, because we're going to be finishing up accountability next week. We will have a part 2. I want you guys to be able to really jot down, what do you hold yourself accountable for? Like completely. I want 2 things that without a shadow of a doubt, you hold yourself accountable for. That's what we're going to be talking about next week along with our vision boards. You guys understand? I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in with me. I do. These be some very, very great conversations because I'm telling you that it works. And when we do the work, it really works. We already doing the work because now we have an understanding on what we want. So now all we got to do is maintain that. You say your anger issues? Cornelia, I do. I get you. Sometimes I get so upset I see dots. I do. And that's not a good thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I do. I see dots. I've gotten a lot better with it, though. Sometimes I used to let a lot of things affect me in ways. Sally, come here for a second. Sometimes, like, I used to let things affect me in a way to where, like, I couldn't even understand it. And one of the biggest things that I can honestly say is I would let things kind of, like, determine the rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? Sully, do you think I do a better job when things frustrate me to calm down and just go through the day?
Yes.
Because I didn't used to do it.
No.
And you know what I'm saying? As my friend, I still got a work in progress. I'm pretty sure she can name 3 things right now that I can do a lot better in. One of them is that I don't let people do shit for me. I don't do that. Even as a friend.
No patience.
And she could probably just, you don't want to be on camera? You scared?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. And even as a friend, you know what I'm saying? There's things that we have to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's difficult sometimes. And she had to say, too, like, God damn, let a nigga be a friend of you. And I'd be like, hell nah. Because it's the way that I'm doing. You know what I mean? You can name a 2 or 3. If you got more than 2 or 3, jot it all down because I want you to bring it next week. You know what make me and Sally friendship very, very complicated sometimes? Is that we're both Virgos. So some of the things that we don't allow is some of the things that we both have problems with. She hate people doing shit for her. I hate people doing shit for me. Simple. We already was off to a very terrible start. It take us 25, well, I ain't gonna say 25 because that's not even true. It take us 2 hours to get food sometimes. It ain't about what we want to eat. It's gonna who's gonna buy for it. Who's gonna buy it? In most cases. And that's our problem. You know what I mean? This nigga is the sweetest person in the whole United States of America. But I would hate somebody doing something for her.
But you did help me understand something the other day. And I am honestly
You getting it. But we've been friends almost a year. And you see it took almost a year for you to understand that. Just like it took almost a year for me to understand certain shit. But I'm letting them know what accountability look like. It's not something that's going to just happen every single day. It's going to be times where I get on this nigga nerves. Sometimes where this nigga be like, Toot, I can't talk to you right now. You get on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying?
We have uncomfortable conversations.
We definitely have the most uncomfortable conversations. I would honestly say, this nigga probably make me talk more than anybody in my life right now. I don't like it. I know y'all see me on this damn platform and y'all see me talk, but Salih, how am I outside of this camera? I'm completely different. I'm on this bitch right now with y'all and I'm a people's person. But when I'm off this camera, it's completely different. Y'all see me, y'all think I like to party. I do not all the time. I am a homebody. Nigga, half of the time we on the phone, we in the bed.
Facts.
With text all day from the bed. So that be some of the things that happens. You feel what I mean? So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that friendship, just like relationships, is not going to be easy. You're going to have those times where you got to have uncomfortable conversations. It's going to be times your friend is going to say some shit to you that you do not want to hear. I go through it. She go through it. But at the end of the day is we both made a pact to know what our friendship look like. You feel what I'm saying? We know what we both want from friendship. So in knowing what we want from friendship, when we have those uncomfortable conversations, the common goal is friendship. Mm-hmm. So where I probably would be defensive, I'm like, look, all right, look, you're right. I see how I could have did that better. And you'll be surprised once you start taking accountability for certain things, personal accountability, it becomes easy for you to take ownership for certain shit. It do. Now you can easily say, man, all right, I was wrong, bro. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I messed up. It gets easier. Because you're not defensive anymore. Because y'all already done killed that. Y'all already done broke that, that boundary down. So it's those uncomfortable questions. Even if you're mad, it might be some days where you have to go a week or two without talking to their ass. That's okay. But the common goal is friendship. I done blocked this nigga before. About 20 minutes. I have. Blocked that nigga. Bow. Sometimes this nigga blocked me. I'm blocked right now on Cash App. Because this nigga tried to send me some shit. I try to send it right back. She said, you know what? I'm not dealing with you. She blocked me. Am I still blocked?
Partially.
Yeah, she blocked me from certain shit. She can't block me from Sister Sunday. But she had to block me from her personal shit. You feel me? But that is what I'm saying. So guys, understand that everybody can do the work. You just got to be able to do it. You feel me? It's not going to be easy, but then you also got to you got to also understand the things you want. If you don't know what the fuck you want, then it's going to be hard to ascertain anything.
You do. I thought about, there was a time where we didn't talk for like a week. And when we did, we both listened.
Facts.
To what each other's issue was. And that could have been something that could have actually ended our friendship or pushed us away to a safe space.
A safe space. And then when you got to think about it, when we get to our big ages, we don't even have the patience for shit sometimes.
And you have absolutely
none. None. But I take ownership of that. Correct. I tell you every day, I don't got no patience. Damn it, I don't got none. You know what I'm saying? But it works like that. I don't got no patience, and this nigga here gets on my nerve when it comes down to just settling. That's my problem with her. With your thick ass. Yeah, get Gabby too. But yeah, she get on my nerve with settling. I had to, like, one of the main things I had to tell Sally in our friendship is, you are a great woman. You are a great woman to a lot of us. No one, you know what I'm saying? You don't got nobody ass to kiss. Fuck that. You ain't settling for nothing. Period. I don't care who that nigga is, who that female is. You just can't settle. And sometimes we settle. That's what this nigga do. I don't like it. So it's something we working on in our friendship even right now, because I hate that she settles. Nah, you ain't settling. I know the greatness in you. Why I'm going to let you settle as a friend? You know what I mean? If I know who you are and what you're capable of, I'm not letting you settle. And if I let you settle, then I'm not a good friend. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? We are human. I give her grace, but I give her grace to a certain extent to where I let her bump her own head. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, I'm going to tell her how I really feel. Period. You know what I'm saying? Don't settle. Never settle. Never settle. You know what I mean? Grace is, we got to give each other grace indeed. And we do that. We have to give each other grace, because otherwise, we both Virgos, we probably would have been stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. But I'm going to stay on her neck. Just like she's going to stay on my neck. It's just sometimes, like, I think what our friendship details is that where she's strong at, I'm weaker at. And vice versa. Mm-hmm. So it does very well in our friendship. She's an asshole, I'm an asshole. So sometimes she could say certain things, and I know she on some asshole Virgo shit. It don't even bother me.
And we'll say, yeah, you being an asshole.
I say, oh, you're Virgo on right now. Yeah, you Virgo on right now. And we got to be truthful with ourselves and say that we know when we settle. Mm-hmm. Blaze just said that.
I am doing a whole lot better. I am doing a whole lot better with realizing what it is I do. Like, don't get it tangled and twisted. It's certain shit that I settle for. It's not just, oh, I'm a settler, but it is
it's certainly.
It's certain things that I just, oh, that's okay. Or I put up with it knowing that I shouldn't. Yeah. Because either for whatever reason, whether it's I don't like confrontation, wanting certain things from certain people, I do it. And I should.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the reason why I came, because I just want you guys to see that I do the Sister Sunday thing, right? But it's really a lifestyle. You know, this is not something that we're just doing because we want clicks and views. You know what I'm saying? No, this is something real. And I try to show you guys everything that I'm going through in real time so y'all know I'm just not talking no shit. You know, this is real stuff that we're experiencing. This is real things that we go through. And that's it. It's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, that we going through a lot of things. I see a lot of friendships, and we settle. We try to just live this one little thing down, and we can't do that. You know what I mean? Don't settle at all because no one gets hurt in the end but the person settling.
Absolutely.
Damn, Blaze. I wish I would have put I'm using that next week. Absolutely. I like that. Don't settle at all because the number one person that's gonna get hurt in the end
it's always
is a settler.
It's always me.
It is.
It's always me.
Damn, she just nailed that one. That's good shit.
It's always
Hurry
me.
up and copyright that.
Huh?
Copyright that. We gonna put that on the channel. We stealing her shit. I'm just playing. You look at you about to go do it. You know, for real. But no.
Take a screenshot.
No, but for real, that is it. It's everything is gonna be a work in progress, people. We're not gonna be perfect individuals, and we gotta be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna get it right on the first time. I understand.